Here we go. Welcome everybody to the West Virginia Dynasty. Today we are going through the first off season of our series, following a very unique season to say the least. Welcome everybody to the stream. 4-8 during season 1 with a legitimately strong offense and one of the worst defenses that I've spent a season trying to figure out. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Mountaineers Dynasty. That was not the first year I expected. Not at all. Realistically, I was thinking it'd be like a 6 to 8 win season with, tough back half of the schedule and everything. And man, like we lost to Marshall. West Virginia has never done that, and we never really got the defense to a good spot. In before Kane signed 72 running backs and no defensive help. Yeah, we're just going to outscore the problem. We found our blueprint. We are an offensive football team. What's going on, everybody? How's everyone doing today here? What is it, Wednesday? Yeah, it's Wednesday afternoon. Nothing better than a Kane off-season stream. Thank you, Leo. 91 months is insane. I love these off-season streams. First one here on CFB27. This is my first off-season I'll go through, and it's a very important one. So there's like some added pressure. Because I don't know as much as I'll know about this game in a couple of months. And it's kind of important I don't screw everything up today, because this season wasn't just tough, we know, on the field, but we know what that means for, deal breakers and getting players to come back. What does year 2's team look like? Huge unknown right now. I'm thrilled to see how you use NIL. Well, some of you aren't thrilled because there were a lot of people saying I need to pull the 90-point offer that I made on wide receiver, Juan Ellington. Why don't you guys like 80 speed receivers with 64 catching? It's shocking. I know I'm going to have to look at a lot of positions here in this offseason. I don't know about Ellington. Here, upgrade your coach. Thank you, the prayer. What's going on, Mike? 61 months. We need a Joel Wolf type recruit this offseason. You need a 98 overall 23-year-old. I don't know if I have that in me today. I'm not sure I can pull that off. All right, we'll pull the offer for Ellington. I was doing a little bit of stuff beforehand here to go through who's going to stay on the board, who's going to go, because I need to keep a lot of my board available for high school players, unfortunately. I need to get more recruits. At the same time, I have to get a few starters because some positions could get completely decimated today. Unrelated, but what is Grifshaw Scene's height and weight? I don't know off top. I don't know. Honestly, I have no clue. So I was going through all the positions today to be like, all right, what does the future, what do things look like right now? And there are a lot of positions that could get completely wiped out. So quarterback is one of them. Looking at deal breakers in the lower right, you got pro potential, playing style, this stuff doesn't work. One deal breaker that really stings, Matt Sieg was one of West Virginia's top recruits in the last real life recruiting cycle. He's a 4-star, played for us as a freshman. Why does he have pro potential deal breaker? I'm just probably going to lose him. And there's nothing, that wasn't my fault. That wasn't going 4-8's fault. That's just the deal breaker is what it is. Some of these positions might be left with a player or two. And so the portal is going to be really important to see if we can find some Band-Aid solutions. I already have 2 cornerbacks hard committed, and I know we're losing Jameer Latimer. We're probably going to lose more. just because of where deal breakers are at. Cornerback was one of our worst positions a year ago. Linebacker, we might have one guy come back. Like, how many players are about to enter the portal? It's going to be insane today how much roster turnover we have from Season 1 to Season 2. Did Kane fire the defensive coordinator yet? Sure did. Could not wait. Well, I had to wait, actually. They don't let you do it until conference championship week. But first opportunity, I did it. Defensive tackle. We might have one of these players back next year. Thankfully, it's a good player in Taylor Brown, but geez. This might get tougher before it gets easier. So, we're going to see what unfolds today. I don't have, like, portal sliders in this series yet. I'm going with whatever EA had as default. I'm sure we're going to see a lot of guys try to leave. Thank you, C-Fur, for the super chat. Stopping in after all these years. Turn down your transfer sliders. I'm okay with the challenge. I don't know, like, I know last year a lot of people turned them down. I'm kind of okay with, like, the start of the Dynasty having maybe higher difficulty there and everything. On the road to Marshall in year 2, I think so. I think we need to make sure that Marshall and Pitt are on the schedule. And I will have to check to see, like, the last time they met, where it was played, and we'll just do the inverse. Don't forget that you can throw huge bags at talented seniors for draft potential. It's not a bad idea, not a bad mindset there. From the sounds of things, West Virginia has like 8 rivals and none of which are actually in the conference. How do they have so many rivals, guys? Pitt, Marshall, Virginia Tech. What other ones am I missing? What other teams did you consider before West Virginia? I don't know if there was a before, because we started talking about them as a possibility months ago, because I wanted to pick maybe more of a Power 4 team that made sense, and like West Virginia was one of the first teams that came up, and I'm like, ooh, that's a good idea. Old Big East rivals, that's right. The basketball conference. And West Virginia hasn't been good enough in recent years to develop new rivalries in the Big 12, it sounds like. It's all Big East. Maryland is a rival. Everybody's a rival. I'm not sure West Virginia has any friends. Finally got to catch a stream again. Just moved and started a new job. That sounds awesome there, Jord. I'm glad you got everything situated there. Thank you for the super chat. Even with the Kansas game, I think this was one of your best seasons ever for quarterback play. Nice work, Cade. Thank you. Thank you. That's not my burner. I would not send myself a message like that during the stream. Thank you, outside interference. I felt like it was a pretty well quarterback season for like 10 of the 12 games or so. I was really happy with it. I wanted to finally have an offense that felt like it had like a real personality and was different from what I do. And I guess some of my offenses recently have been a bit more run heavy, but this one incorporated the quarterback a lot more, and I felt like I stuck to the plan better when it came to the passing game. Even in games I had to throw it 30-plus times because we're constantly losing and trailing late in games. And Michael Hawkins, he's really good. And he's not a threat to transfer, it does not seem. So, Hawkins should be back next year. He's not likely to develop much. If we get anything in accuracy, that's a bonus. We know we can have a good year with him. But who comes back with Hawkins? We know Cam Cook's gone. He graduates. Amari Latimer, our best young running back, is going to have to make a transfer portal decision here momentarily. Prince Strawn, our top receiver, could be hitting the portal. DJ Epps, he graduates. Teron Francis could hit the portal. Like, I'm going to lose a lot of players at the beginning of this stream. Defense. We lose Ben Cutter. We are losing Kamari Wilson. I hope we don't lose Matt Sieg, but it's it's probably happening. But you know what? I think I'm okay having like 9 new starters on defense next year. That's hardly the worst thing that could happen there. What are the main goals and targets today, Jacob asks? Thank you for the membership. The main goals today are to still have playmakers to allow us to play our game offensively and not take a huge step back. Because the defense still ain't going to be good next year. But I'd like to see the defense come away with maybe a standout player in the secondary. Maybe an interior pass rusher. I think the portal's key for the defense. And I think that we could end up seeing some freshmen potentially start. And not 5-star freshmen. Maybe even 3-star. We'll see where this goes today. You can take your Texas weather back from the Twin Cities area. 90 plus today. Happy to be able to catch a stream. Yeah, I've been seeing like the forecast for the Twins games. Pretty hot up there. Pretty hot down here too, though. Feels like 107 the other day. Wonder what the feels like is today for me. Feels like 106. It's actually 96. You have to schedule the Friend of Coal Bowl and Black Diamond rivalry between Virginia Tech and West Virginia. A huge rivalry, same with Backyard Brawl. I think our non-conference schedule is like covered for the entire series. Like, I don't think there's any room for these random teams because we just play rivals. We have so many to pick from. Royce had a walk-off last night. You bet he did. I was freaking out over that. I thought he had possibly hit it out, but it was a game-winning triple. All right, so I think that we can move on from this stage. I have 15 hours. You can actually do recruiting during conference championship week now, apparently. So I have 15. And there was... Okay, so I saved a couple things for the stream here because I didn't want to make moves without y'all. But I have 3 tight ends on the board. I'm dropping it to 2. I think I'm out on Titus Jamison because right now, you look at the speed, the catching, the route running. I think we go Longo over Jamison and then give an offer to Derek Gardocki. So Titus Jamison, just the route running ain't good, the catching ain't good, the catching traffic ain't good. At least Longo has the catching traffic and a route running boost. So just give me Longo over him. And then Gardocki as like a maybe more well-rounded option. I don't know his short route running, but 51 medium's kind of scary too. I think we're going to offer to him. You ever thought of having a jersey number tradition on Dynasty, like USC with 55 for linebackers or LSU with a number 7? I think if it were my school, like Kalispell, and creating something there, because you want it to happen organically, not just like start the series and be like, the number 31 is our tradition. Like, it needs to happen organically, and I just don't know. Something would have to spark it happening in a series, for instance. And then at wide receiver, what do we think about giving Dylan Walters an offer? What do we think about these 2 receivers? Spec catch stinks on both. Catch in traffic is identical. Warren Jones is speedy. If we lose Teron Francis, is Warren Jones more interesting? Are you going to try to save for facilities? I don't know how much of a priority that's going to be today because I need to make sure I have like a team too. JUCO, no thanks. See, I tend to like JUCO guys when I think they're more likely to play. 48 to represent your first season's win-loss record. You know, I don't want to celebrate that. I'd rather just get a portal guy. Yeah, we could wait until the portal. I mean, he's a 125 NIL receiver. That's maybe worth seeing what the portal throws our way if there are any questions there. I think there was a defensive tackle I wanted to offer too, and it looks like we might not have many returning D tackles, so I have truly 4 on the board. I guess Zaire Demorit here I only have on the board because he has hard committed to a school that did not offer to him. How do you do that? Is this common? So I wanted to offer to Brian Earl because I think he's a little bit more well-rounded than the other guys I've looked at. They are not great run stoppers to this point. So I'm going to give Brian Earl another offer. We're going after 4 defensive tackles and probably are in the portal as well. So I'm going to throw some points into this battle. Cage, we don't really need extra points. I might throw 5 more into Isaiah Gaines. Need to find more 3-star gems? Yeah, I mean, Tyreek Jameson is one. BJ Workman, another one. And these gem 3-stars, they might just end up with early playing time. Juan Book. Remember, I only have a couple players in my class right now because I had deal breakers get screwed up on both Book and Regis. So they opened back up, and I'm putting points back into their battles again. So I have to win these players for the second time. And then I couldn't meet the deal breaker for Gordon McElmurray, so I don't know what's going to happen there. You have a bust on the list? Yeah. There's a linebacker whose skills are kind of like day one playable. A lot of stuff in the 70s, including awareness. Penn State has an offer for him, and we're probably losing him to Penn State. Maybe Juan Book is Ian Book's brother? What about Joe Book? Pipeline important as well. Yeah, and so are the deal breakers. I know this is taking a while, but I wanted to go through some of the deal breakers currently on these players. I have to keep it in mind for a lot of positions. You know, playing style on the edge, playing style at running back, like playing style in general might not be the best fit. Playing time, conference prestige, proximity to home, those are all ones we can stomach. Brand exposure needs to be deprioritized next year because I don't know where we're going to be with that. So let's move on, everybody, or hire staff. Should I hire a DC now or wait? Available next week. Okay. And do I have to do anything with my OC? Negotiate extension? Okay. I don't feel like I need to change much there. I guess he is still a D prestige guy, and I want to keep my points around for my facilities and players. Hawkins might be your first ever 1,000-yard quarterback rushing season. He's actually a demon. He's so good. I can't wait to hopefully have a better team. I don't know about next year, but maybe year 3. How good will the NFC West be in 2026? Insanely good. Outside of Arizona, of course. Hire a DC now. I can do it next week. I can't do it now. Let me see what Jason Foster. Can I see his actual abilities? Ah. We've had a good thing going with him. I think we're going to keep the OC. I can't fire my OC after that season, guys. Come on now. This is for my personal immersion. I got a year left on his deal. Okay, let's chill. Let me spend my coach skills if there's anything there. I'm thinking about, like, increased portal interest is very important. Which positions, though? I think, do we just... 30, 55, 75 points to go all the way on Portal King. Is it worth it for secondary? I can do it on one of these. D-line. I do have some young secondary players coming up. I mean, D-line might be the most valuable spot to upgrade. Let's go D-line. I'm dumping all these points for more portal interest. Strong DBs make a weak roster seem stronger. I find that if I don't get impact from my defensive line, it hardly matters who's in the secondary. But we had a bad secondary last year and a better D-line, and that didn't work out much either. I don't know if there's anything else to do. It's my first time going through the offseason, so I'm just trying to not screw anything up right now. Will there be a switch in defensive scheme? I was thinking we stick with the 3-3-5 unless I get like a really good coach and it's like, oh, let's just run his scheme. Extend OC or they disappear. It said he had a year left. Do I have to extend him? It says 1 year remaining. Can I just go into next year? Did I save yet? Once. Yeah. Meaning this year? Okay. I would like to make an offer. Oh, okay. I'll go 165. He does give us some pretty good abilities. I was wondering why we had so many players like hot all the time. All right. Am I safe to advance now? Is there anything else I need to clean up? Just joined. What did I miss? Absolutely nothing. I've been yapping for 22 minutes. All right. Advancing past conference championship week. How's it going, Kane? It's going pretty good. How's it going over there? BJ Workman. Verbal commitment. And we got a verbal from Enrique Armour. Tyreek Jameson. Hard commit. That's big because I want less players to have, you know, to put points into. West Virginia alum had Big 12 rivalries brewing. Texas Tech, Baylor. We're going to have to work on that in this series. So, I don't have coach firing on. I do think it'd be interesting to turn it on. I don't know if I do it for year 2, but right now, job security, safe for now. We do have 5 3-star recruits already. We had a good turnover differential. We need to win a bowl game in the first 3 years, though. You should do streams where you talk about the NFL during the season. I have definitely wanted to like do some of that because I do such little content now that like ties into the real season, and it's kind of a bummer. I used to stream more, and like that would kind of get my fix. It's crazy the past 2 dynasties that the first offseason was a month after the game came out. This year with the new format, we're still in July. Yeah, we're going a lot faster with this format, and I'm really enjoying it. And even with the change in the Arkansas State series, it wasn't until year 2. Show conference championship results. I got you. So conference championship week. Jacksonville State over Kennesaw State. 12-7. Boise State wins the Pac-7. Wyoming over UNLV for the Mountain West. Louisville over Virginia. And then you've got Texas Tech taking it home over Kansas State. Western Michigan wins the MAC. The Sun Belt goes to App State over Arkansas State. Memphis all over UAB. Texas A&M, number 1 ranked over Ole Miss. And Washington, the Huskies beat Oregon in the classic Pacific Northwest battle in the Big Ten. Pac-7. Yeah, I don't know how many teams are there now. It's enough to have like a conference, though. It's not like it was last year. Heisman buzz building. Is it going to Trinidad Chambliss? Didn't he have to, like, fight to even have eligibility to play this year? House rule. Fullback on NIL. We're probably losing our fullback to the transfer portal, too. That's embarrassing, by the way. The Heisman winner, everybody, is awarded. Who's taking it home this year? I don't know if this is like copyrighted or whatever, so I'm just muting it. Really excited for the next season in your Twins franchise. Thank you, Leo. I am as well. This is cool. I have not seen this before. Chambliss, Damon Williams from Washington's there. Man, I wish I could have had this for Brian Maddox. Marcel Reed. I wasn't sure if there was music in the background is all. Joseph Williams. Look at that season. 18 touchdowns, 1,400 yards. I do need a great fullback if I'm going to run those diamond formations. There are some positions I did not prioritize in recruiting this year. Fullback, one of them. I also don't have a punter for next year. I also don't have a center. I might not. This is pretty cool. So we got 3 quarterbacks and a wide receiver. No running back love this year. You can convert a blocking tight end to fullback. Yeah, that's always in play. And the Heisman Trophy winner looks to be Trinidad Chambliss. I'm guessing that the top 5 there is kind of like a spoiler. Are you open for portal punter? Sure, why not? I gotta find a punter. I had a north-south blocker halfback in 26, and he was amazing. That's a good idea. That's not a bad archetype to think about. Like, a lot of those guys, you think about that archetype not as a high school prospect, but as like a college player. A lot of those guys get converted to fullback in the NFL. Can't say it happens all the time because there aren't that many fullbacks anymore. But I think about guys like Zach Line for SMU. Hey, the Jet Award goes to Keyshawn Robinson. I loved returning with him. He should be back. He could even be one of our top cornerbacks now next season. And a top return man. The Butkus Award goes to Ben Cutter on his way out. Please get drafted to help our pro potential. Extension accepted. We keep around our offensive coordinator. Marcus Jones time. That's a good pull right there. I like that. He is kind of our Marcus Jones. I got some Dynasty points awarded, guys. Early National Signing Day. Got a lot to go on here. View job offers. This is for Brandon Warren. Kyle Whittingham retired, so Michigan's wide open. Dabo got fired. So, you know what? I actually think DeMora might be able to walk in there easily and no one will know any different because, like, the head coach is gone. Just say you got an offer. Went to the NFL, went to the NFL. Fired, 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 fired. Let me see big... Can I sort by conference, or is that not an option here? I just want to see if any Big 12 teams changed. But they don't seem to be on this list anywhere. Besides Oklahoma State. 4-8. Fired. Tough. Can't relate. How old is Kyle Whittingham? That sounds like a crazy retirement. Is there anybody on this planet named Kyle that's even of retirement age? I guess he's 66. That's one of the oldest Kyles on the planet. Has to be. Try to poach Caleb Hawkins from Oklahoma State. Say no more. That sounds great. Let's hire some staff. We need a defensive coordinator. A word of advice going into the portal. Look at 2-star juniors if you want immediate starters. They are by and large better than 3-star freshmen or sophomores. Now, I'll have to think about that then, because they'll have experience at least. Might be a little bit higher overall. All right, so who are we offering for our defensive coordinator job then? Chuck Martin. Iowa's trying to hire him. Should I just copy Iowa? Brent Pry. So I'm not sure exactly... How am I differentiating these coaches then? Let me get some more music going here. Can I just click in and check the abilities? All right. DK McDonald has elite recruiter. If we want to have a better chance of bringing in better defensive recruits, and then what do you got down here? Scheme Guru. Ooh, boost for the D-line, boost at linebacker, boost at DB. See, like, if I could get a pretty good defensive coach, I think it would make sense to change my scheme to whatever theirs is. But he's D plus prestige. Kansas lost to us. What was his job there, DC? 220. If you want to go that route. So it gets a lot cheaper. So here is another elite recruiter, but lower prestige, only level 19. And would not get us access to the tactician tree. DJ Smith. You get Portal King here. We know, like, the portal upside here. We already purchased D-line. He would give us linebacker and DB. I'm not doing manual progression. No, I do like it more randomized. It doesn't tell me their defensive scheme. It only shows their offensive scheme options. Consider the coach point cost of these skill trees. You don't have a few hundred NIL is very cheap compared to that. Yeah, I mean, those are abilities that I am a long way out from getting. Where do you see their pipelines? Is it just their alma mater? Is it whatever pipeline is that? Wherever that school is? So we got DJ Smith as an option. I'm kind of just focused on the elite recruiters right now, helping make up for things that we don't have yet. But it seems like Smith might be my better option just because he has Portal King. I think it's either Smith or McDonald if we want to go big. So we already own D-line. That's fine that he's missing that. But we would get Portal King basically for the entire defense. Look at all openings. Look at the teams that got fired from to look at playbook. There's too much going on here. Yeah, I kind of like going after Smith, so I still have plenty of NIL for everything else that I'm trying to do. Is an extra like 140 worth getting... This is the wrong coach. Is the extra NIL worth... Ooh, rating boosts. I mean, if we're playing a young team, man, the rating boosts are definitely valuable. Finesse, move, block, shed, change of direction, pursuit. It's not like a significant, you know, like we're not getting power moves, we're not getting tackling. Linebackers don't get much. The DBs get man coverage. Smith has too much competition. So McDonald doesn't have anything there listed. Smith has a lot of schools interested. Check the strategist abilities. Yeah, did he have more? Might not have a whole lot there, but it looks like strategist is at least unlocked. He has one thing. Boost to complimentary visits to DBs. So that's, you know, very small addition there. Offer to both. I believe from the information we got during the news period that it automatically like goes to your highest guy if they both accept. $220 for a big defensive coordinator upgrade. There's not a lot of interest. What if I go like 190? Is it worth it to go under? Lowball him? Give him 190. He got fired from Kansas. Yes, if nobody's offering. Let's go 170. It's 50 under. Now, at the same time, We could have Smith say yes because I'm probably giving him a stronger offer. What do we think then for DJ Smith? The expected value is 85. Thank you, Get, for the new channel membership. I appreciate that. By the way, I'm doing the channel member stream tomorrow. A lot of you seem to be re-upping your memberships. I do my channel member live stream tomorrow afternoon, 6:30 p.m. 6:15, actually. 105. Someone offered 100 to Smith. Oh, is that what those numbers are referring to? Their offers? Georgia Southern gave 100. That can't be. That must just be an interest bar. Because it doesn't go higher than 100. Which means someone at least gave him what he was looking for. Or did they fill his bar to 135? You know, that's the tricky part there. I'll offer 100. So we have 2 offers out there. We also have early National Signing Day. So I should get to see some dev traits, right? We got Tyreek Jameson. Star development on a 3-star linebacker. That's a huge win. That's huge for us. Impact on BJ Workman. Normal on Enrique Armour. Of course, he has normal when he's a very abnormal player. He's 293 pounds with 86 speed. We'll take off Heller. He committed to Penn State. And then we got Armin Blunt, normal dev. Marquez Dyson, impact. And Sammy McNamara, impact. Good start. I'm happy with that start. Let me just organize my board a little bit. So I have 18 scholarships out. We haven't even gotten to players leaving yet. But we have a cornerback, or 2 cornerbacks, a safety, a linebacker, an edge rusher, and a quarterback in the class. We're very close on a center, close on a running back. And then I think we're in pretty good shape for a lot of these battles. We'll see about James Hagan and how many points I want to put into this battle when we already have a quarterback. Granted, he has normal development. And then Cage is like the last player that should be an easy win at defensive tackle. And Virginia's making a push here for Isaiah Gaines. And he's a West Virginia native. We cannot lose him. I have no idea what a good amount of NIL to go into the portal with is. I feel like I'm not going to have a lot for facilities this year. And I'll just have to kind of learn as I go what all ends up happening here. So I think I'm good to move on to the next stage, right? Is there anything else I have to do? When do I review the roster NIL for my current roster? Is that member stream tomorrow Eastern time? 7:15 Eastern tomorrow. I have it set for 6:15. If you could get one big splash signing, what position would you want? Probably defensive tackle. End of season recap after the Bowls. Okay. I want to get this thing moving for y'all. I'm very safe now. Cool. Offer accepted. So we ended up getting DJ Smith. He accepted the offer, which means we get the 200 or the 170 back from the other offer. And we now have a new DC who will make the portal a little bit easier for us. It's a 1-year deal, so we can always come back next year and see if we can get like an even better DC. How come I signed Foster? How come his is a 3-year extension, but DJ Smith signing a brand new deal is 1 year? Is that how it always is? He's a 3-4 guy too? 3-3-5 is like 3-4's cousin. Where did it show his scheme? Oh, there it is. Defensive scheme base 3-4. Maybe I build something that has 3-4 and 3-3-5 kind of combined. New signing, I believe, is 1 year first time. If you retain, he stays for 3. Okay. I don't think there's anything then for us to do until the offseason truly begins. And get DTs that fit. Yeah, I know Enrique Armour, he would fit like a glove as a 3-4 defensive end. I'd have to take a deeper look at who we already got. I don't think they're nearly good enough against the run. Sounds like 3-4 multiple is the answer. Yeah, if that playbook, like as default, has like 3-4 and 3-3-5, I would take a look at that. It's Natty Week. USC versus Texas A&M. Here's a look at the bracket to this point. So you had Oklahoma barely beat Louisville. Notre Dame over Boise State. USC over Washington. Texas Tech hammers Texas. Then loses to Auburn by 2. USC beat Ole Miss. A&M beat Notre Dame. Oklahoma beat Oregon. And then 2 blowouts. Got to have blowouts in the CFP. A&M beats Oklahoma 40-16. And then USC over Auburn 63-10. That is embarrassing. 649 yards. Lincoln Riley in his bag. Wow. Gotta think USC takes it home, right? That offense is just too explosive. Caleb Williams was holding him back. We all knew it. A&M wins. Texas A&M has defeated USC. Never mind. $18 points, man. So, there you have it. Texas A&M. They are the first champions of the Dynasty. They've come a long ways from that, what was it, App State that beat them when they had Jimbo Fisher just a few years ago. 1,615 NIL. Does West Virginia win the conference before the Twins go on a playoff run? Maybe. Thank you, Aqua. Man, I feel like we're far away from winning the conference right now. I feel like the Twins are closer to making the playoffs than I am of winning the conference here. All right, so let's set the next season roster NIL. This is something I've never done before, so the 1,200 of you assistant GMs need to help me out. So my roster NIL is at 930, or was 930 last year. I'm at 1695 on my recruiting NIL. High risk of leaving on a lot of players. Wow. Let me get familiar with this menu here a little bit. So is NIL my main tool for convincing players to stay now? There is a visual glitch where the bar can lower or increase if you back out and go back in. So am I not... when you're at the transfer portal stage now, does it have you like give you like the 3 to 7 persuasions for players entering the portal? Is that still there? But this is tied into the logic with it? You have convinced chances still. Deal breaker makes a huge difference. Okay. So all I have to do is throw a lot of money at certain players. I think we let Scotty Fox transfer. Justin McDonald. I think we let him transfer. He's a pocket passer. I'm bringing in my guys. So, does that risk of leaving change? Okay. I like UIs that offer good feedback. We're just zeroing those guys out. If the red bar is full, you will get persuasion chance none. Good to know. So I might not want to put everybody in the green, but I can better understand how that all works. Amari Latimer. What would it take? See, like if I bring it to 80, we're at like a 50-50 maybe. If I want to go green, I got to go 95. Oh, I'll go 95 all day. I need a running back. Is that pretty good? Kai Alexander, probably gone, huh? I'll put money into Sieg for sure. You can offer up to double their expectation. This is cool. I didn't even realize this was in the game. Chris Talley. I was looking at earlier. He only has normal development. I thought he was athletic enough. Yeah, I liked playing with Latimer. Kai Alexander. I don't think I'm prepared to pay him the same. If I want like a chance to persuade, I guess I could go to like 65, but you know, if I can bring back Latimer, maybe I just figure out the rest. Like I should I have Penny Thompson. I looked at Penny Thompson earlier. Maybe it was him over Tally I liked more. 89 speed, 92 acceleration. If I can have those two guys and then maybe throw a couple more in that I get later on, like one book and a portal guy or something. Offer him 50. I mean, I don't want to screw this up, guys. You know, the running back's pretty important to our offense. What do I think of CFB.7 so far? For the most part, I'm having a pretty good time with it. I think I'm enjoying, like, on field more than I was last year at this stage. Over time, I thought 26 really got dialed in with some updates. But I think until maybe Christmas last year, I felt 25 was a better game. All right. Caden Luke. I like him. I don't know if I can go to 70. Is 70 on a fullback a lot? Honestly, the consensus with 27 is the comp players hate it. The regular Dynasty players love it. Why don't comp players like it? They added in stuff like timing-based catching and whatnot. I thought they would have been, like, more into it. I might have to go for a new fullback, y'all. I don't have unlimited NIL. Prince Strawn. Bro. I don't have a chance. I'd have to go to 230. That's around what Cam Cook made last year, you know. It's so crazy to have this conversation in this game. I might have to go 230 and just see what happens. Teron Francis. Ooh. I do not want to lose Teron Francis. All right, who else we got here? I'm okay if Niter goes. Every time I threw him the ball, he dropped it. Impact on Isaiah Shelton. I think I'll prioritize him. Like 25. Let me cook. All right, let me cook. I'm feeling okay right now. I'm feeling confident. At tight end. Yeah, this is a tricky one here because I don't have much returning. I want Sam Hamilton back. Little 10. He just wants a little bit. Ryan Ward for the Dodgers? 65 run block. He might be a dog. I could pay him 35 or I could just have the freshman. I think I'll just go with the freshman. Offensive line, I feel okay about most of the spots here. Impact. This is kind of cool, guys. I like this feature. I did not know this is like... I knew that you had to, like, offer NIL, but I guess, like, having the risk of leaving on there with it, like, offers good feedback to me. And now I feel better about the chance of some of these guys returning because I'm throwing money at them. Grayson's the tough one. Best offensive lineman. I might have to come back to him. Might be too much. Rhett Morris, Kevin Brown. Both have normal dev. Our better backup tackles are on the left side. I think I'm going to prioritize Kevin Brown. He's already, like, not wanting to leave. I'll throw 5 his way. Look at skill caps. Can I even click into skill caps and stuff right now, or would I have to go back to a different menu? In the future, I'll have to have just like a list of like players I'm okay moving on from and all that. You don't need to spend 5 if he's green? Okay. Kevin Brown, actually, I'm going to have to take that back, please. Right stick? Nah, not in this screen. I can see some attributes. Triangle? Nope. No square, no X. Not right stick on any of these specific deals. I'm pressing triangle on all of them. All right, we're on defense now. Basically, young players with good dev traits I'm trying to keep around. And then some of these guys might have a chance to start. Harper Holloman wasn't great for us last year. I think I'm okay letting him walk. I'm not going to 240. There's no shot of that happening. I think I'm just letting him go. And I'm taking the NIL back and I'm throwing it at maybe the right guard instead. I'd rather try to develop Toby Hastrup. Impact, Trayvon Thomas. I'm letting a lot of these guys walk. What do you think about Hastrup here at 70? Is that enough? Oh, yeah, I'll be giving to Sieg. We're going to throw a lot at Sieg. Hastrup is really good in my Cal Dynasty, 10.5 sacks. I like the sound of that. 75 to bring him to yellow. Taylor Brown doesn't even want NIL. You're a good freshman. Why? Henson had 6 sacks. Gabriel had 2. I want Henson because I know he can play a little bit. I'll go like 30 on him. Suggestion was 30% on roster NIL. I'm in that ballpark. I'm probably going to go over. Gabriel. I might let Gabriel go because I'm bringing in so many defensive tackles. And if I can keep, I already have Taylor Brown coming back most likely. If I get KJ Henson, I think we're okay there. I can reshape D tackle. Yeah, to even bring this down, I have to go to like 75. That's easy. Jason Hall made a few plays last year. I'll throw 5 at Ashton Woods. Jason Hall, 25. I'm okay. He'd be going into his last year. I think we have other replacements, and Tyreek Jameson's probably going to play as a freshman. Corner. Keyshawn Robinson, man. Jet Award winner, doesn't even want any NIL. Doesn't want any. Rollison. 1 pick, 6 broken up. Normal. What would Rollison need? Nah, I don't think that makes a lot of sense. Maybe we don't offer any NIL at cornerback. Bomar wouldn't need much. We'd at least have some depth there. Like 10. You are overpaying a lot of players. It's also my first time doing this, and I don't want to lose them. I feel like I'm keeping this pretty under control personally, as somebody who has not even engaged with this feature before, but at all. Matt Sieg. Back it up. Back that truck up. That's it? I was expecting the Brinks truck. No, this is fine. We can fit this in a bag. I might pay him 100 just so that bar disappears. You gotta spend money to make money, guys. Jordan Pierre. I'll go 5. Daryl Goings. Well, we'll see where he's going, because I'm not going to 50 on a backup safety. This is also your team. EJ makes a very compelling point. This is my team. Sawyer Reynolds, the kicker. I'm going to 10 because I don't want door number 2. Sawyer Reynolds would have been our best kicker last year, and I redshirted him to play the experienced guy. So, let me cook there. I don't have a punter. All right, that was fun. I'm a little high on some of these. Maybe I go to like 80 NIL on Hawkins. Just going over this one more time. We got Amari Latimer, Prince Strawn. Is he really a coffin corner kicker? That's hilarious. You have to think about the opportunity cost too. If I lose Hawkins, we're not watchable next year. All right, so I got Amari Grayson here. I'll go 185. I think that's a fair offer. Truly, he should be more valuable than Strawn, but I got them both like 50-50. Check his sacks allowed. Shouldn't be that many. 3. 39 pancakes. Could Joey Chestnut handle 39 pancakes? Probably. Before the hot dog competition, easily. How many pancakes could you eat? Like, proper pancake is like the size of like a medium dinner plate, right? How many pancakes could you eat like right now? Have you ever thought about rethinking your transfer leaving rules? If Malachi Toney were freshmen at West Virginia, they would definitely transfer. If you had a young quarterback with pro potential, he would leave as well. You know, I haven't really thought much about it because I didn't realize how much NIL went into the risk of leaving and everything. So we're going to have to see how this goes, and I'll have to get more experience before thinking if I need a house rule on it. Maybe 200. 39 pancakes is probably light work for Chestnut. 8, 10, 3. I get like 6 right now. 2 stacks. A stack is 5. Can we get a confirmation on that? Is a stack of pancakes 5? 17. A highly specific answer there. Could definitely do 17. 18's pushing it. 0 because celiac. Yeah, definitely don't consume gluten if that's the case. Although we could get some gluten-free ones so you can participate too. It's only fair. I think I'm good for like 3. Because I don't know if I like pancakes enough to push it. Did anyone want chocolate gravy on their pancakes? I'll throw it on one of those for sure. I'll go 190. I think 9 is my limit, but maybe this is what I test out for my birthday. What do you want for your birthday? 9 pancakes. Waffles, though, I'm doing 4. I'm trying to do 4. I think I'm okay with where these values are currently. We got our food talk in. You know, we are an hour and 10 minutes in. It usually shows up, you know, about this time. I think we're in a pretty good spot then. Hopefully. Because maybe less players are about to leave than I originally thought. Oreo pancakes? I tried the unlimited pancakes at Denny's one time and tapped out at 7. Please get Strawn in the green. I mean, the number is so high. Green 255. I think 230 is a pretty good offer. Back out and go back in to see if the bars change. I mean, is there any... Would there be any concern with that? I was watching all these bars move as I did this. Everything seems to be the way I left it. Yeah, I'm not sure if that was a bug that got patched. I didn't even know anything about this feature outside of what I read during the news period. All right, facility upgrades available. There's so much more to do now before players leaving. Holy cow. We have a full-time cleaning staff for longevity on our facilities. We have a trophy room that increases our grade there. We are not upgrading facilities anytime soon. Empty slot. Reduce wear and tear. Didn't I buy something for increased training? Or is this not where that's done? All I can think of here is doing like bronze ice plunge for wear and tear. Oh, that's in staff, support staff. Okay. So you got staff and you got facilities. Should I fill a slot right now? I'm not sure I need a whole lot right now. I'm only spending 150 though, so I'm not investing that much. Reduced injury chance. They're not common to begin with. Yeah, we can probably move on. I'll have to throw on a Bengal video or something and watch some off-seasons get knocked out. That's our recruiting NIL right now. And McElmurray's a huge question mark there, so we might just get refunded on that. Look at lifespan, it only lasts 4 weeks. 4 weeks? And there's always like buys early in this season. That sounds like a waste. Buy those during the season. They're temporary boosts. Can you buy those whenever? Because I thought that all that stuff was like you had to buy it before the season and there wasn't another way to do it. Review next season blueprint. Was I just doing that? Our facility spending is abysmal. That's okay. I didn't know you could buy that stuff whenever. Good to know. I'm learning so much today about my job. I think we're ready to move on. Yeah, support staff's all preseason. I didn't realize you could buy facility stuff whenever. Cool. Do I have to engage with this at all? I don't want to do anything. Why would I want to downgrade for free? No. I will not tolerate another 4-8 West Virginia season. We go 3-9. I don't want to hear any complaining. All right, Juan Book has it narrowed down to his top 5 for the second time. We have 2 of our goals done. Will they give me new ones for next year? Because I've already done those. I want to be able to earn more. I do not have a TikTok. Game highlights would be cool to see there. That would probably be pretty cool, honestly. I don't have a TikTok. I don't use TikTok. I think vertical video is kind of weird, to be perfectly honest. All right. We need some tension-building music, perhaps, for this. Everybody, this is the players leaving stage, where this 4-8 team could lose key players that even helped us win 4 games. We are trying to move this forward. But what if a key player chooses to leave and creates a massive hole on the roster? That's just the name of the game here in college football. Are you prepared to see who is choosing to enter the transfer portal? Here we go. Harper Holloman. Amari Grayson choosing to enter at right guard. Nate Gabriel, Kai Alexander, Corey McIntyre, John Niter, Chris Talley, Kevin Brown. I think we ended up in a pretty good spot here. Oh, thank you, Cam Cook. We have at least one player projected to get drafted, and it's Cam Cook in the 3rd round. Steal. I only get 2 chances at persuasion. By the way, I have no idea. What is it that determines how many persuasions you get? Because last year, I would just get more. I don't know if it was a prestige thing. All right. Let me go back in because I screwed the menu up and it looks way better the way it is default. Harper Holloman's gone. Amari Grayson's probably one of our 2 persuasion players. Gabriel's gone. Alexander, McIntyre, Niter. Kevin Brown is a potential player we could look at. And this is where we should look at the caps. Very low on LeBlanc. Trayvon Thomas as high. So there isn't a lot of drama or decision making here. And I'm super excited that I'm going to be able to keep guys I thought were gone, like Amari Latimer, Matt Sieg. So I'm gathering that NIL kind of overpowers deal breakers. As long as you have the room to spend money, you can get players to overlook some bad fits. At the same time, meeting deal breakers should mean maybe you don't have to pay them nearly as much. So it's still worth it to look at deal breakers and consider them, but it maybe isn't as damaging as it was in the past. So it basically comes down to, do I want to try to bring back Trayvon Thomas or Kevin Brown? Normal dev, 4-star, 74 overall. Not getting any better as a run blocker, but he's not terrible. And then show me Trayvon Thomas. Probably going to make sense to bring back the tackle. Those caps are horrendous. Yeah. All right, let's start off here. Kevin Brown. Very high chance. And success. Kevin Brown is staying. And then we're going to try to bring back Amari Grayson, the right guard. Medium persuasion chance. Grayson. Will he leave for greener pastures? He will not. All right. That's very good. We made it through the tough stage and are in very good shape. We keep Prince Strawn, Amari Latimer, and Amari Grayson. No huge issues there. So my gut reaction right now is like the transfer slider. It's a totally different game than it was last year because it's not as dependent on deal breakers. So I don't think it needs to be treated the same way. Yeah, I've had pretty good luck on the convincing of transfers. I think in the Arkansas State series, it was I think maybe one time there was a high chance of persuasion that didn't work. Hey, I think my job security should go higher after that. We kept some of the most crucial players from last year's team. Here are the NFL draft results now. We had 1 pick, running back pro potential. That's a big help, Cam Cook. I wish I could see like a draft order, though. That'd be sick. Like all the just first round, second round. I want to see the order instead of going by school. Yeah, Stephen Harris transferred away. I can't remember what his like persuasion situation was. I don't have to look through all this or anything, just taking a look at a few schools. But we had 1 player get taken this year. And now, off-season recruiting's here, guys. Anything else I want to buy in the meantime? I can't get... Well, it's too late now for the portal interest stuff anyway. Ooh, I think I'm saving for level 10. And then I'm unlocking either Motivator or Tactician. I feel like I want Tactician next. That's where my points are going. So you have to remember now with our coaching the way it is, if you just joined. So at the beginning of the stream, I purchased the coaching ability that would give us more interest from defensive linemen in the portal. Then we signed a defensive coordinator who gave us the same, but for linebacker and DB. So that's a lot of points now I don't have to spend to get those perks. And I can instead then save my points and dump those probably into Tactician to fix up some areas on the team. You don't like Tactician? How come? I'm curious. Before we get too deep into the recruiting side of things, I just want to take like a tally of the roster and see what's deep and shallow. Kane, I just had a really good burrito. Thoughts? I am very happy for you, but I don't have a lot of information about this burrito to really dive deeper. It's always Elite Recruiter for me. Well, I'm starting off with Recruiter, but I want to get a secondary tree going. All right. So, we're good. Basically. on quarterbacks. Running backs. Okay. I wish you would take the seniors off the roster, though, right now. Because that's muddying things up. Where's my fullback? Did he really transfer? Okay. Strawn, Francis, and then we'll see what happens. Sam Hamilton, Ryan Ward. Get a Tavon Austin speed guy in the portal. Well, the thing is I'm probably not going to be able to spend a lot of points on scouting. But I do have Teron Francis, and I do have another receiver, a JUCO guy that we might try to bring in that has like 94 speed. Yeah, I wish that was cleaned up here so I just have like a full view of what I truly have and don't have. Just because I know I can't get everything in the portal. I have to think of like the 3 to 5 players I can go after. I think edge is a huge need because Durham Campbell's going to be gone and Harper Holloman's gone. So can Brandon Caesar take elite, please? Toby Hastrup could be a starter. I have 2 defensive tackles. That's not many. I'm only going to have a few linebackers. Cornerback, huge need. And I need a punter. Do I go portal punter or high school punter? Let's go to work. All right, so last we saw, Virginia was like outpacing us in getting Isaiah Gaines. So I'm a little nervous on this one. I don't know. I might have to do a hard sell to get him. I could start off soft sell and see what they're doing, if it's enough. And then Kevin Cage, I don't have to try very hard. I'll save points for now. Floyd Kalu at defensive tackle. I got a lot of overlap in the skill sets that I've been recruiting here at D-tackle. Not enough good run stoppers. Like, Cage is like the weakest, and I've given him the most NIL. Yeah, he's athletic. Is Cage more interesting if you think of him as a 3-4 end? I still think 79 strength is poor, but his athleticism's good. There's a chance VA could revoke the scholarship offer too. Yeah, that's like what I'm thinking about from past dynasties, is that they don't go hard after 3-star high school players at this stage. Big schools aren't. Floyd Kalu. We'll see what Tech does here with James Hagan. This is an interesting one. West Virginia and Virginia Tech. He's probably a quarterback, but being an athlete, there's also like the mystery box element of his game. Longo. No one else is even trying. Gardaki. I just offered him a scholarship, so I'll throw a 25 on him. Brian Earl. This was a late add to the board for me, so I have to put some effort in if I want to win. 72 block shed, 80 strength, kind of like jack of all trades, master of none. Are we okay with nothing being all that high on the core skills? Ah, I got locked out here for Dylan Walters. Coach Prestige deal breaker. Okay. Warren Jones. I wonder if I can lowball him. No one else is going for him. Very disappointed. So what are the chances if like no one else offers? Can't I just go 0? Or like 5? What should I do on Warren Jones if I want him there? Juan Book, no one's trying. I guess I'll throw like a placeholder 10 on him and Regis for now. But we should get those guys, no problem. And then Jaquan Bryant. This is probably a spot where I might want to just not screw around. Decent run stopper. I might just hard sell. Unless I need the points in the portal. And then I feel okay about the way our offensive line ended up. So I threw a couple more players on the board because I thought I'd lose way more in the portal than I did. It's better spending hours without an offer than sending a bad offer. Okay. Maybe I convince him to walk on. All I have to do is get into first, right? Let's go to the portal. Let me get some more music going here. All right, transfer portal time, everybody. Any 5s out there? Malachi Tony. 515 NIL. Oh, how come it's not showing me his stats? Did he just not play? Okay. Then I understand your complaints with your playing time. Why did Tony have 500 yards? One of your players transfer, but you're his first choice. Yeah. No, if you want out, you got to be all the way out. Realistically, don't want to dump a bunch of points into a player that we're probably not anywhere close to getting. I don't know how likely 4s will even be. Nate Shepard can play. Oh, I like Nate Shepard, guys. I remember him from... Was Nate Shepard in my Arkansas State Dynasty or Buffalo Dynasty as an opponent? Any decent cornerbacks? You know, we probably should start the conversation there at the position of need. Now, this is a school that handed out a big NIL offer to Cam Cook last year, so there is precedent for us going after a running back. We may. But let me look at corners first, because it is probably the greatest need. The best I could go after is Dwayne Galloway Jr. I should do it. So he's the best 4 that we can go after. And then you got a couple 3s. I do need a cover linebacker. Yeah, that's one position where it's like, do I consider even scouting some of them because it's a skill set that we just desperately need? Or I have to find like a field general archetype. Why is everybody a thumper? Bryson Banks. Putting him on the board. Everybody's a thumper. Lurker. Okay, we got a couple linebackers. Thumper is the best cornerback, linebacker archetype. Yeah, I do think it's pretty good. Because those guys aren't just useless in coverage. I've scouted many lurker, thumpers that had decent zone, but pretty poor man. And then edge rusher. Any fours? I got a couple. Justin Green. Didn't play last year much. Christian Gass. 7 spots on the board available. Cole Carmichael from Miami. Yeah, I think we'll try to get him. Putting a couple threes on the board. See where it goes. And then yeah. Receiver, we should consider receiver. I don't think I'll go to the 4s. And then I don't need a contested specialist as badly as maybe just a route runner. Let me see if I can find some better NIL deals for us here. Jordan Allen, elusive route runner. Drayden Dickman. Keenan Jackson. Shelton Sampson. I'm trying to find some names I can recognize, and there ain't much. Punter. Oh, yeah, punter. Punter. This is 70 from K-State. Hunter Summers. On the board. Finally, someone I know. You can definitely rewatch this later, yes. It'll be available in the playlist and everything. You wanted to see what our needs are? I don't feel like I'm too lost or anything in terms of our needs, but this is where things are at. I have to look at a fullback. And punter. Kane, you should sort by schools and look at who Pitt lost. I like the way you think. That's very good. There are 5 available fullbacks. I'm proud to say that we played our fullback more than any other fullback in the portal. He has the most downs played. And then I need a punter. 135 NIL, I wouldn't do that. Oh, he's that good of a punter though, huh? 16th ranked player. And there's not another punter for 1,700 spots. That's insane. Five-star punters, guys. They're out there. If you were good enough to punt for LSU, you can probably punt for us, is my philosophy. And I'm at 35 targets. Look what we got. 460 hours to sort this out, guys. I need you to lock in right now and help me. Because I'm not scouting some of them. Dwayne Galloway, 4-star corner. Send the house. I'm going to have to offer a scholarship. Might prioritize Askew just because he's younger. Or do I say I already have a couple young cornerbacks coming in and go for the sophomore? 59th on the board versus 64th. What do we think? Is there really a big difference? Should I just go tie to the younger player? You can hard sell from the start? Oh, I can. I can see that I'm a good fit. Well, I can't do it. That's cool. I can see all their pitches, though. Askew 6'4", and he's a freshman, and he's 6'4". Yeah. Let's get Slender Man in here. Ooh, top of the board. Good idea here. I didn't even know that. Remove Carmichael. He's a total bust. Why? 2-star seniors? Yeah, I've been told that the younger or the lower star seniors can kind of be good plug and play guys. But I'm also looking for multi-year players. Bussy from A&M. Well, if I have more room on the board at some point here, we'll see where it goes. What position is he? I'm probably just going to offer. Throw 10 at the ones who ask for nothing. That's a good idea. I am competing here after all. Especially when I'm like, you know what? Actually, I like to revise my offer. I'm increasing it. It's like a psychological tactic. First, I offer you nothing, and then I immediately give you something, and it's like, oh, I'm going to West Virginia. I'm a Miami guy. I know Carmichael is awful. Never gets over 74 overall. Okay. And where's this A&M guy at? Was he edge, punter, support staff? Who was he? I mean, anybody from A&M should be interesting. This won the championship. Receiver? Terry Bussey. Gadget. We'll see if I have the points and hours. I don't think it's going to be a high priority. And I know Summers. So I will be offering to Hunter Summers. I know I want Luke back. I'm not even sure if anyone's going to really go after these fullbacks. There aren't that many teams that would be interested. I'm at 210 available. I've offered on 2 corners, a linebacker. I'm going to have to go after some edges now. Justin Green, we're going to blindly offer whatever he wants. I'm not going to have many Dynasty points remaining at the end of this. That's okay. Christian Gass. I feel like I might be able to justify a little bit of scouting here on some of the 3s I'm not too sure about yet. Like pure power as an archetype, I don't know if I trust it yet. 69 speed, yeah, I'm probably out. Gas, I don't need to scout a 4-star. .94 speed, he does have some wheels. So I could go for him instead of the JUCO. Well, thank you, Faison, for the super chat. I'm glad you're enjoying the stream. I love when these off seasons come around. These are fun. 100. Yeah, some of these guys want really big offers. I'm not going to have much for support staff upgrades this year. I think I'm just kind of accepting that. Okay, 77's not going to wow anybody. He will get an upgrade. And then Jordan Allen, let's scout him twice? Thrice? Okay, so I like Jordan Allen more than Isaiah Williams. Like, Jordan Allen looks like a starter that could step in for us. 85 NIL on him. So I should probably find another edge rusher, maybe a 3 to go after. Or I could just go after both 4s and see if, like, I fail. Because I'm probably not getting both. I might not get either one. Let's see if I can get to 50, though. What would it take? I'm going to need those points. Oh, I'm going to take Jones points away. And then we'll try to set up some visits probably in the next week. Let's see if either edge is interested. So that gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 portal offers. All right. Feels pretty good. Why am I plugging so much into NIL into receivers? Mainly because I need another starter. I don't want Francis to have to replace Epps. I want somebody else to do that. All right. Let's see what these players had to say. I like the offseason a lot in this game with what they've changed. Yeah, we're out on McElmurray. Auburn has discovered him after all. So that's going to be 165 or whatever given back to us. Virginia's not going after Gaines. We should have Cage. Ooh. Big push here from Pitt for Floyd Kalu. James Hagan out in front. Longo, Gardaki. Come on, Gardaki. Brian Earl. I should look at some Portal D tackles, too. There's got to be someone that could fit us there. All right, here are the Portal players after Jaquan Bryant. Let me just take Demort off the board. All right. There's some stiff competition. Third place for Dwayne Galloway. Ask you, though, number 1. But if he's a freshman, what are the chances he's like a starting caliber player? Do I think about scouting him a little bit just to see if I should go after anybody else? Or do I go look for like a 2-star senior and just hope that he's like the best guy we get? First for Bryson Banks. First for Justin Green. That's huge. First for Christian Gass. First for Jordan Allen. First for Hunter Summers. Cool. That's working so far. I'm probably out here on Perkins. Yeah, let me see. I wish I could just look at senior cornerbacks. Just give me an experienced player. With like 0 NIL. The best senior 0 NIL player. So if we scroll down here, sophomore, or I guess we're looking for juniors. All right, a lot of you said 2. I'm going to have to look at the 2s. Jalen Mbakwe. 65 NIL, though. What's up, Kane? Let's go Mountaineers. Thank you, Mega Muffin, for the 60 months. Appreciate that. So they're not going to be 0 NIL guys. You guys here had a little bit of production. Let me see the low 3s again. Mbakwe was supposed to be a 2-way player like Travis Hunter. Really? Here's a 0 NIL cornerback from Georgia, though. So I'm kind of more interested at the moment finding older players. Because I just need an immediate starter that can kind of hold his own. Brandon Crutchfield. Let's look at Mbakwe. And I might do a little bit of scouting here, too. And then Eli Thompson, 5'10", 183. All right, my board's full. Just some light scouting, though. Oh. I might have to take somebody off the board to go after him. Oh, Mbakwe was already interested in us, too. Fast. Hands. Interested. Cover skill on Thompson looks a little bit higher. And 72 tackling is really good, too. Only 25. I could probably go after both of them. Limited NIL here on Eli Thompson. I got 10 hours available. Not a lot to really get much going with visits yet. I might be able to get one off. Or are they all 15? I guess they're not narrowed down much. I think next week is the visit week we set up. We are in first two for Askew, so we could reshape cornerback quite a bit. And then you guys definitely want to see me go after Bussy. And imagine, like, when we go 4 receiver, it's like 2 gadgets out there at the same time. That might be the move for us. I'm blowing all of our NIL on players right now. Let's go to the next week. The idea is that we just pay players and then we're better and then we get more NIL to actually upgrade the other stuff. Now Auburn pulled it. I'm just keeping him on the board. I don't know where McElmurray is going to show up, but he's going to go somewhere, right? Virginia making a push for gains. I don't want to lose him. In-state. I know he's a JUCO guy. Surely not like the most valuable prospect to target. So they just had the visit with Kalu. They might win this. Yeah, I haven't put points in the Earl battle. I'm probably going to have to pull this one. I'm going to call it there. I'm taking off Warren Jones. Let me see. I haven't done like much for portal defensive tackle, and it's kind of late, but maybe I can find a junior without anybody else interested. I'm probably going to lose Galloway. Maybe I just get my points back here and take the L on Galloway. First place on Banks. First place on Green. Neck and neck here for Gas. No one's going after Jordan Allen. That's crazy. He looks so good. I don't really need Allen and Summers is the thing. I may end up pulling the offer for Summers if Allen stays lopsided like this. No one's going after Terry yet. All right. All right, let me look at defensive tackles quick. Kind of looking for just a low NIL junior. Not many options here. It might be a freshman worth picking up. Because, you know, I look at our class and how it's coming together, and, like, there are some that look pretty decent, but I haven't really gotten a good run defender yet. But I'm kind of late to these threes. I might have to put Jackson on the board if he doesn't have an offer. And then we've got for twos. See, in the past, I was never really looking at the twos. I'm definitely in favor of them, like, making more of the player pool, like, worth looking at, and not just always looking at the very top of the list. Things like NIL making it a little bit more interesting. 340. And I'm probably going to have to do a little bit of scouting on these guys, too. I don't have a lot of points for it. So let's go see what we got here. Demarion Thomas. Okay. I like Fuller here. I only have 10 points available. Yeah, 56 speed. He's not going to be running anybody down, but we're looking for a different role. All right, let me see if I got to open up some points here, because I just don't think I'm getting Galloway. That doesn't seem like a very winnable one. Let me see if Jackson is worth getting. Ooh. I think he's very worth getting. I think I'll go for him. And then I was thinking about here at the top, like, do I just give up on Kalu? Because Pitt's already in a really good spot there. It might be tough to overcome that gap. That gives me back some NIL. And then I have to remember, too, if I want gains, 20 ain't enough. I don't know if a 40 is enough. I think if Virginia wants them, Virginia wins. This might be a spot where I have to increase the scholarship. I think I might hard sell and see if that does any better. Cage we should get easily. Hagen, I think we're okay. BC's far back. Askew might be worth a visit. Which players are the most visit needy? Probably Christian Gass. One thing, too, that the NIL introduces, like, there were a lot of times in Arkansas State where I would go crazy in the portal and I'd kind of get too many players. But, like, paying NIL to players who aren't playing when you could use that to upgrade your facilities or your support staff, like, that's why I think partially maybe if I'm in great shape for Allen and Bussy, like, maybe I don't need Summers. Because he's only showing up for a year to be, like, receiver 4 or 5. That doesn't make a lot of sense. So I'm going to pull Send the House at the very least right now. 3-star defensive tackle Bird is better. I got room for one more guy. Where's Bird? There's Bird I can't go after. Do I possibly have too many DTs on my board? What was his deal breaker? I have no idea. Yeah, Gaines probably needs a visit. I could probably make this complementary with the edge. Proximity to home. We make sure we get gas in there. And then, would that benefit Banks at all? It'd be complimentary. Bryson Banks. Might be worth it on Askew. Not complimentary though? Okay. I think we go with this one here on Bryant. Yeah, and I gotta adjust my hard sells. Yeah, I gotta take a look at all that. I think the play on some of these isn't even to go complimentary, because no one else has set up a visit. If I set up a visit for week 4, nobody can. It's basically spending 15 points to guarantee I win at that point. So, like, I don't need to be complimentary. I just want to block anybody else from having a chance to set it up. Up in Bakway's NIL. It's uncontested. I think we're okay. His visit helps you get gains. It does, yes. But it's already like double complimentary. I could also make sure green gets in because that one is close. Is that going to be competitive with gas? Yeah. Probably don't want to do that then. Yeah, I can do him in the 4th week for visits. Because gas is now. Now I'm kind of getting lost on the board here. 1 second. Yeah, it was Justin Green. It will be complimentary this week too. All right, and then take a look at all my hard and soft sells. We got locked up by Cheney. I didn't even notice that. kind of wish there was a button here to like automatically pick the one when you have them all unlocked. What games you guys playing these days? I'm sure a lot of you are playing CFB. I always like to hear what games everybody's into. When I'm not playing for content, I still play a lot of stuff. I think these hard cells might end up being a huge difference. I know in the portal on 26, as soon as I got the hard cells unlocked, it's like a rocket ship for getting more points. Persona 5 Royal again, that's crazy. I've only played Persona 5 Base, and it's like one of my favorite games of all time. I've not actually played Royal, but you're playing it again. BO1 while reinstalling CFB on PC. I've been playing a little bit of the Black Ops 2 port because I never got into Black Ops 2 much when it first came out. Like at that point, I was kind of already burnt out on Call of Duty. And so I played it a little bit at launch. I think I rented it back when renting was still a thing. And then I ended up getting it in the spring. Like it got bundled with a bunch of DLC and I bought it in the spring. And I actually like first started playing with and talking to someone who's now one of my very good friends because I got Black Ops 2 there in the spring. C, C minus, C minus. That doesn't seem like a good one. Yes, we do, Chris. Playing P5R again as well. That's crazy. Elden Ring, Mecha Chameleon. You guys playing Mecha Chameleon, the hottest game on Steam here this summer? Yeah, I love the Pick 10 system in Black Ops 2. I think it's like one of my favorite loadout systems in any multiplayer shooter. Playing Baldur's Gate 3 while watching your stream right now. You could like play Baldur's Gate while firing up like an old series like Arkansas State, and the series will probably be just as long as your play as your like file on Baldur's Gate. Pocopia for the new DLC about to drop. I've wanted to play Pocopia really bad, but I'm a salty physical gamer that wants like the game properly on cartridge. I'm curious about that Dune game. I've never seen like the movie or anything, but the game kind of looked interesting to me. Pocopia is dangerously addictive. That's what I hear. Check Green's hard sell grades. B+, D+, D-. Yeah, that one is kind of close. I have not seen that many movies. Like, movies in general are just not usually something I spend a lot of time on. I can't remember the last movie I watched. Sure, it wasn't that long ago, but what was the last movie I watched? I don't know. Toy Story? Not 5, 1. Backrooms movie was very good. I am interested in that one. I've watched Queso play a lot of Backrooms horror games, so I feel like maybe I'd be into it. The last movie I went to was the last Final Destination movie, and I liked that one a lot. send the house for green? You think we don't do the sell? I can kind of see that. I don't know if the calculator works the same way here on this one. I used a calculator on a lot of questionable ones in the past. Alright, let me try to get my head sorted around all this stuff again. I'm going after these 2 defensive tackles. I don't know if I want 3. Thompson and Backway. We're in great shape, great shape. I got 35 points I'm sitting on right now. I have a visit lined up there, I have a visit lined up there, there. No, I don't have an Askew. But it would be competitive, I think. Or, no. Yeah, I should set this up then. Let's do 4. Got a visit there. Let me throw an extra 10 on this competitive battle. Do I need a backup quarterback? I don't think I need a portal backup quarterback is all. All right. I think we're set up this week. Here's the quarterback situation. Justin McDonald. And I do have a quarterback in my class already, so could I use like a random senior? Maybe. Probably. I have a running quarterback, so is it a good idea to have a backup? Let's go week 4. I might need one more quarterback. There we go. James Hagan. That's a quarterback, by the way. And we get Christian Askew, hard committed. Bryson Banks. What I'm hearing here is we're going to have a lot of hours available in the 4th week. We get Jaquan Bryant. That's really cool. Already some wins there. Hey, it looks like they pulled the offer potentially on Gaines. We got Hagan. Now with these ratings, that's kind of backup caliber worthy on James Hagan. So we already got some transfers. Oh, deal breaker. What happened? Why was it okay earlier and it's suddenly not okay? Playing time deal breaker on Justin Green. Because I took the lead on gas, I'm only going to get 1. Okay, I see. I take the lead there. All right, I'm in good shape for Jordan Allen. I'm going to pull the offer on Hunter Summers. Hey, we got locked out for Bussy. Let me back out and go back in. I took Summers off the board. Auburn pulled on the running back. Wow. Because I got in first. Or I have been in first for Jordan Allen. I don't know what changed on Bussy at all. Did I get a receiver commit somewhere else? What week of the portal are we in? This is the final week. This is week 4. I don't think Mbakwe would impact that. Yeah, I don't know what changed here for Bussy, why his playing time is suddenly D. Because nothing changed on Allen. We were just as in good shape for him last week. Yeah, Auburn pulled on McElmurray. We saw that a little bit earlier, so I'm leaving him there. Yeah, I don't know. Hagen, his archetype's dual threat, which is quarterback. I'm sure he can play receiver. That's the only thing different that makes sense, is that he sees that as competition. Maybe I still get him because no one else tried. Well, I don't know. We're not on his board. So, is what it is. Now I'm wondering, do I go after a third defensive tackle, or do we call this enough? Because here's my D tackle situation. We have Taylor Brown, Henson, and then I have a bunch of targets filling things up. So it's going to be Young. I guess the question is he better in this run defending role than anybody else? I'm going to spend the 10 points to scout Jackson more because I wanted to see the block shed. It's 78, 83 awareness. These are pretty good ratings for a sophomore. Let me spend the 10 here. I got plenty of points. So 80 block shed on Demarion Thomas. Is it worth it to get Thomas if I get Jackson is kind of the thing here. Because Jackson would play over Thomas is the thing. And I have Taylor Brown. Now we might play 3 defensive tackles. I have Henson still. And then I'm going after Cohen Fuller, who looks like a pretty solid pass rusher, 85 tackling there as well. We don't know his block shed, so... Oh, it's 75. I don't know if I need to go after Thomas. And spend the 75 or whatever NIL. All right, let's see what we can do then in the portal for maybe a backup quarterback. Because it wouldn't be a bad idea. We got one option here. I don't want to put a lot of NIL on this. And I'm not going for pocket passer with this. Mason Kelsey, a Texas quarterback. Although playing time, I'm not sure that deal breaker would stay good. Playing style might be the safer one to target. Use your hours to recruit. Don't waste it scouting. Well, I'm trying to, like, decide if I even want to go after certain players. I don't usually do a lot of scouting on the portal players, like, early in a dynasty. I do it when I'm trying to decide between a couple, because especially in this game, I don't want to have to just pay NIL to multiple players and only one of them ends up playing anyway. So I'm not wanting playing time as a deal breaker, because I'm not promising these guys getting on the field or the situation like changing, whatever. Maybe I go off of who we already put on the board. So playing style is a good one. Conference prestige is a great one. At this stage here in like the final fourth week, I don't need my points to be spent as efficiently. I can do a little bit of scouting. 79 throw power is abysmal. These low throw powers must be more common in this game. So those guys were younger. Let's see if I look for someone specifically that's like a junior. Are 2-star junior quarterbacks in the portal good? Guys who are about to be seniors. Ethan Crawford, Arkansas State. KJ Towers, I want some experience. Corey Dawson. I want lower NIL. I realize at this stage here, I'm not going to be able to be very picky. Rashawn Coleman. Seeing all these guys from Arkansas State hit the portal. Let me double check some deal breakers. Championship contender's a bad one. Sorry. I can't promise that. Pro potential, I can't promise that. Well, I guess I was looking at 1-year players there. Got like 7 trains of thought here going back and forth. Carlisle's the only answer. You guys think Carlisle's that dude? Let me fully scout him. 81 break sack, 93 speed. Not bad. '85 throw power here, 86 speed. Guys, I think I like Grayson Purden more. Granted, Carlisle's like the more dangerous runner. He's got better ratings there than even Hawkins does. But as far as like who's the better quarterback, I think Purden. 75 versus 20. Move Carlisle a running back. Now you're speaking my language. You're starting to make some sense. Could I actually move Carlisle the running back? Do you think he has the ratings to pull it off? Does he have the carrying? Eric Pacheco reborn. Ooh. I kind of like both. Now, what happens here in the final stage if I am the only scholarship and it's like limited NIL? And keep in mind, they're also competing here with James Hagan. I guess Hagan has a little bit more overlap with Purdon just because the accuracy... Oh, the accuracy is not going to be like the same or anything, but after like a year, Hagan is like the same, I think. And I'm definitely going to redshirt Hagan this year. You guys want Carlisle pretty bad. I've offered. Grayson Purdon. I just want to see if I offer the same NIL. 20. I want to see what happens. I have 75 points available. I could do a little bit of scouting here still. Let me see what's still competitive. See if there's anything I have to adjust. What are we at here? 2.5 hours? So we should probably win that, win that. We won that. We're going to win that. Should win that, and that, and that. Don't know what happened here. Oh, I know what happened there. I still don't know what happened with Terry Bussey. All I can think of is that Hagan scared him off. Yeah, these are mostly done deals. So now we're into like the territory where I'm just going to dump my points on scouting and see if we can uncover a gem. You know, maybe we find a tight end from Notre Dame who's a stud at the last moment and he ends up being a 2-time Mackey Award winner. Could I find the next Akeem Madden? I haven't given tight end much attention. Look for a 4 with 0. I have plenty of receivers. I think I'm good on edge. I'll look at the tight end. Those are the only guys out there. Wait a minute, I'm on prospect list. No, remember, I thought I was on the portal list. So there was a patch that dropped that addressed a recruiting issue where like 4 stars were kind of going unrecruited. You know, we've kind of seen that before, but I said that I wouldn't be going after any more of these 4 stars because it was kind of a flaw in the game. So I'm not changing that here. I thought I was in the portal. Now, next year, I should be able to do whatever I want to do. Look at this. The thing is, though, is it's not like you end up getting, like, these players for this huge, like, steal, because you still have to pay them NIL. And we're pretty deep into the NIL already. So I do prefer kind of looking at cheaper players right now. That's a 0 gadget. I'm scouting him. And then when it comes to running back, you know, I didn't end up with a key running back on the board. I was so focused on all the other positions, I never really got around to running back. And that's kind of surprising. Because outside of Latimer, there ain't going to be a lot of experience. Can I find a last-minute running back? How'd y'all let me get lost here? I can't go after the guys with 0 offers. But there are some 3s. I'm on prospect list again. I wish that it wasn't next to each other. Can I still get a running back? Because I missed out on Shepard and Hawkins. Nate Shepard going to Florida. Let's just say I would have lost that anyway. But Caleb Hawkins, I just can't put on the board. I don't want to do 375 NIL anyway. That's a lot. We got a 4. Does he have an offer? Tennessee gave him 1. Kobe Martin. Ja'Kale Middlebrook from Virginia. That'd fill my board if I went after the best available running backs. That looks athletic enough. Let's go after Ja'Kale Middlebrook. I got to make a push here for running back. And then I got 10 points I'm sitting on here. McNair might not be a bad dart throw just because it looks like I lost on Bussy. I don't know if I can still get him. Like, I have no idea what's going to happen there. I don't think tight end is a huge need. It was just an example. Well, maybe I should just throw an offer at somebody. I just need a 0 offer guy. I got 35 targets on the board. I got to clean this up. I'm always so excited when this is over because this is like, there's so much that goes into off-season recruiting. And then I handle like the chat at the same time, and it's like, dude, there's just so much. I can't wait for this to be done. And it's like the longest stage too. Like, I am ready for this stage to be done. That's pretty good production. That's not bad either. Not as good as that, though. All right, so I'm going back to the board here. I'm not going to be able to put 50 on Middlebrook. I gave him the offer. You know, if it's the only one, that should be enough. But I want to scout the tight ends a little bit. Yeah, I think that's a decent skill set there. I want to try picking one of the two. I scout them both twice. Who do we think's better? Steck has more strength and acceleration. Higher pass block. Lower NIL on Steck. And then maybe I just dart throw on Tavion McNair because he's a freshman gadget and hope it works out. And that's my last point. All right. I'm done. I'm getting out of here. Let's see what we got. Let's see who's joining us. Isaiah Gaines. We got the West Virginia native. That was important to me. Kevin Cage. We got Jordan Allen, a big transfer at wide receiver, should be a starter. Caden Luke. Braden Lambert. We got a punter. Jalen Mbakwe. Eli Thompson. Well, we got him. 4-star running back Gordon McElmurray ends up coming here after all. Dayon Lungo. Derek Gardaki. Juan Book. Nazir Regis at center. Justin Green, 4-star. Wait, Justin Green had us locked out. Did he not? We get Leroy Jackson. And we got Christian Gass. So we got Gass and Green. Cohen Fuller. We lost Carlisle. Did TCU get both quarterbacks? How do they get Terry Bussey out of nowhere? Purdon might walk on, right? Carlisle picked TCU over us. Samir Smith went Tennessee. I don't think we're done. I think we still might have someone show up, right? Let's see your class rank. Where does it end up? I'd be happy with, like, yeah, top 60. 35th. the portal carried. We ended up paying, I think, a decent bit in NIL, $21.50. That's hefty. On the low end, you got 80, 90, 130 total. I can't even imagine. You can sort by high school or portal only? All right, so here's the recruits. I didn't know you could do this. This is cool. So our recruiting class was 61st. Our transfer class was 20th. Pretty happy with that. So suggested that you spend 25% of your NIL on recruits. We're at 50. We have enough for 2 teams then, apparently. $295 unspent. Not much. I'll have to budget for that next year, maybe. Position changes. Let's make sure I get there first before we move on. Dev traits. We'll get to dev traits. Eventually, we can open up our roster menu and just see them all there, right? Probably now. All right. Any position changes here? I have to assign a couple athletes. So, James Hagan, I am assuming, is better off as a quarterback. Unfortunately, normal dev. Not ideal. Tight end, receiver, quarterback. I think with normal dev, you take a look and see what he's truly best at, because you're assuming very little growth. Accuracies are honestly pretty good for a day one rookie, a freshman. I think I have to go to all or roster. So 83 speed, 86 acceleration. Is he a tight end or is he a quarterback? Kind of is the deal here. And his run blocking is pretty bad, so he's not a tight end. Not in our offense. Where's catching and all that? He's actually a pretty good route runner. So it's like tight end speed, receiver route running. End of the day, probably better off as a quarterback. I'm assigning him to quarterback. Deon Longo, I assume, is tight end. They have him as edge. So let's take a look at Longo. 83 speed, 83 acceleration. His route running is 70 short, 73 medium, 60 catching. And then on defense, he offers 76 tackling, 48 block shed. Yeah, he's better at tight end. And we had one more athlete. That's going to be Enrique Armour, who I assume is going to be an edge. I wanted to see Carlisle's ratings at running back, man. I can't believe now we won't be able to do that. Am I blocking some ratings? Oops, I need position changes. I wanted to see like his running back overall. Enrique Armour. Yeah, we're going to put at edge. Put at left edge because it has less players. I doubt there's any other position changes than to think about this year. Getting McElmurray there was star dev is pretty interesting. That was great luck for us, but gonna have to work on keeping them here now. Running backs, and can the running backs possibly be more productive without Cam Cook? Let me see the offensive line here. Because center's looking like a concern. Regis might be a day one starter. Impact dev. Unless we just play Devin Vass there, a 6'6", 306-pound center. Here are the edge rushers. I'm very surprised on these overalls for Green and Gas, because weren't they 4-star transfer prospects? I know we haven't done training yet, but still. That is so low. Y'all better be ready for a big step up in the offseason then, because I was not expecting that. And then Jackson at 80, Fuller at 80, so we did get portal upgrades at D tackle for limited NIL. What I'm confused about on the edges are they were transfer guys, and they were like 4-star transfers. They're making 160 NIL, and they're 70 and 74 overall. Maybe that's what I get for not scouting. Tyreek Jameson, star dev. Bryson Banks, 71. Man. Mbakwe Thompson, 80 overall. That's what matters. Secondary looks better. And we still have Sieg. All right. I think we can go past this stage. Leveling up, continuing to add on more of those coach points. Motivator unlocked. I could buy a new tree. Motivator or tactician. Prince Strawn upgraded his dev trait. Anybody else? Leroy Jackson upgraded his to impact. All right, this is the fun stage. It's like all good things usually. Training results. Highest rated players are now Leroy Jackson at D tackle, Amari Grayson, Prince Strawn, Jalen Mbakwe, Jordan Allen, and a big leap taken by Keyshawn Robinson, the Jet Award winner. Let's go position by position. Michael Hawkins +3 throw power. I think that's actually kind of nice. Justin McDonald gets a +4. Amari Latimer, +2 to 80. Penny Thompson, +2 to 76. So, what happened to that portal running back that I offered on? Like, Latimer looks like he's going to be a solid player for us to feed the ball to, but, like, is it just him and Penny Thompson? Is that it? Mbakwe needs to play both ways. He's a superstar. We'll take a look. We'll take a look. Jordan Allen to an 83. Teron Francis to an 80. So, Francis gets +5 catching. Spec catch at 89. The route running boost for him is nice. So is that release. So you're probably looking at Jordan Allen fitting best in the slot. And maybe I can use Francis outside of it more reliably this year. A bit. Tight end, Sam Hamilton. It might be the starter. And I think that is, that's okay. I think he's well-rounded enough. Also a redshirt freshman, so, like, he's going to continue to develop from here, hopefully. Are the caps decent on him? Yeah, he can get better as a blocker. That's okay. Karsten Cassidy to a 78. Cray stays the same. One at center. You know, I got asked about, like, moving Grayson to center. I kind of feel like, you know, I tend to move guys when their build kind of makes sense, and Grayson's does. I don't know. Like, I don't want to move punters to kicker, kicker to punter. I guess I already kind of try to manage the offensive line reasonably with, like, what builds I'm moving guys. Do they make sense at this position? And I could see Grayson at center just fine. So I think Grayson at center is a possibility. We'll get Vass on the field, and Vass looks good enough to play. Brandon Caesar to a 77. Yeah, who's going to start at edge? Because things did not play out there the way I thought they would. Like, Gass and Green, I thought would step in and, like, just be starters, unquestionably. And now I'm not even sure they will contribute. Like, their roster NIL next time we go through the offseason is going to get tanked. There's no way I'm paying for that. I think Toby Hastrup, David Afogo, Brandon Caesar. We see what we get from these guys. At least D tackle's better. Jackson, Fuller, Taylor Brown. I think those are your main guys there. Some decent boost to block shed. We got some power move upside there. Leroy Jackson, I'm really excited about having him this year. Potentially the next 2 years, because if he starts, playing time's going to get taken care of. At linebacker, man, Banks couldn't go up at all. Wow. But cornerback, last year it was like a 70, like an 80, a 76, a 74. We got 3 guys at 80. They're seniors, but that buys me time because I brought in multiple cornerbacks in my recruiting class. And now Jalen Mbakwe is freaky athletic. 79 catching. I think Mbakwe might be the return guy. Can I really replace the Jet Award winner? Do I do Keyshawn Robinson on punts? Jalen Mbakwe on kicks? I should have seen what his overall was at receiver. Can you make a cornerback a gadget player? Matt Sieg up to a 78. Why does Sieg have normal dev? 4-star, normal dev, bad deal breaker. Nice accuracy bump there on our kicker. We got a good punter. Our defense is a higher overall than it was last year, and I think that was important to start this season with some more hope there. What do I want to see now? I can't do depth chart or anything like that, so let's advance. Skill points will be auto spent on player progression. That's fine. C- championship contender. Give me some new goals. Not changing anything with conferences. Encourage transfers. I only have 73 players. There's not really a reason to do that. Is this where we see the extra players show up? How come I have Austin Carlisle now? I thought you went to TCU. Let me sim forward and I'll just check our roster. We'll do a reveal that way. So let's see. We haven't seen the final roster yet. No one else offered? Okay. Now I'm an 80. 81 offense, 79 defense. Preseason. Take a look at our roster. All right, so at quarterback, now you do have Austin Carlisle confirmed. I like that all the dev traits are available this way too. So we got Austin Carlisle as a backup quarterback. We will definitely redshirt James Hagan. And probably Armin Blunt. At running back, no one else shows up. So we're going very young at the position this year. Gordon McElmurray now, keep in mind, is like the faster, speedy complement to Latimer. So I think as a freshman with star dev, he's an athlete that has to probably see the field early. Can he catch? Not really. That's a shame. But I think McElmurray ends up playing quite a bit early. Fullback, Caden Luke. Now, is Bussy at receiver? Yep. Wow, 84. Terry Bussy. This is fun because I think I like to run some 4 receiver, and we don't have that many receivers. But now it would be like Strawn, Allen, Francis, Bussy. You got 2 gadget guys to stretch the field, run some screens with, just get kind of unique with them. Terry Bussy is here, 99 jumping. We got a super athlete on this team. Where did he transfer from again? A&M? He will not get better catching. Gadget number 1, playing running back. If he just committed to us, I would have moved him to running back. 5'10", 196 too. A&M didn't want to play him. They only used him as a returner. So, does it make sense to change his position now? Are there any negatives to doing that versus the stage where it's like position changes? Is there any reason not to? We have a lot of returners, but we also gave up so many points last year. You have to think about how important a returner is to a team allowing like 35 points a game. You can't change him. He's a real player. I'm sure on PC there's a mod that takes that away. So I can't edit him right now. But I can make him a gadget player and then do what I want to do. All right, tight end. We are going to be going with Ryan Ward and the freshman. I guess I haven't really been looking at caps on players either, but let me just see what we're working with here. I still can't believe I got fleeced by these edge rushers, man. That was a lot of NIL. And now, like, linebacker is a logjam. Because everybody at linebacker, every linebacker on the roster is rated from 72 to 67. To me, that says just play Tyreek Jameson. All right, let's go through some caps now on new players that we got. Let's take a look at some of this here. We got Armand Blunt. I'm not sure we'll get to practice today. We're already running pretty long on this stream, and, you know, we're still doing stuff. All right, here's Armand Blunt. Those are not great caps. So I've got to think about what players have bad caps that I want to tank their NIL offers on next year. Because these caps are terrible. But he's okay on day one as a backup, I guess. I can't change Bussy to running back until like the change positions stage because he's a real player. I'm not on PC like you. All right, James Hagan. These are his quarterback caps with normal dev. Those are actually okay caps. Just his speed of growth with normal dev might be the problem. But I'll take what I can get there. And then Austin Carlisle. The caps are decent. There's just some really low ratings currently in his skill set. So move Carlisle and Bussy to running back and thrive. All right, Gordon McElmurray, star dev, 4-star running back. These better be good. Quickness is at its cap. Elusiveness has a little bit. I think we can live with that. Might not be dynamic with juke, spin, break, tackle, but he's already a good athlete. And then one book. 62 overall. He'll be red shirted. He's a contact seeker. But I think the caps are decent. Those are good. At wide receiver, I did not bring anybody in. Outside of Bussy, who's a senior, so I can't change his position. We're just going to have to use him as a gadget right now, and that's it. All right, I got 2 tight end prospects to look at. Derek Ardaki, normal dev, the double wrist brace. Yeah, definitely not great caps. Not going to be a dominant tight end, but if we're starting a 74 this year, you know, he might have starting potential with us. Dion Longo. Might be an okay receiving tight end overall. Yeah, I think he'll end up playing. All right. We go to Regis at center. 68. Uncapped run blocking, uncapped pass blocking. I think that's a win. Even if IQ can't get that high, he might end up at like 80 awareness. I don't know, 75, 80 awareness at max. But pass and run block are uncapped. He has impact development. And he's got 2 bronze abilities, too. I should point those out more often. Only 1 offensive lineman in the class. No receivers. 1 offensive lineman for a run-first offense. 2 running backs. Enrique Armour, normal dev. Good upside on power moves, but it's finesse that's more his game. I guess that can get into the low 80s. His run stopping is capped, so... You know, I'm going to go after the 6'5", 293-pound guy with 86 speed. I'm just going to do that every time. Maybe his athleticism makes up for the lack of skills. In college, that can work, right? And then we'll look at Gas. He was a transfer, but he's a sophomore, so there's 2 years to develop him. So is like the game just overrating young players in the portal? Because I'm still trying to understand that, like, in the past, 4 stars are just unquestioned starters. And in this case, I paid $330 NIL for 2 backup edge rushers. A D tackle here. We got, starting with Isaiah Gaines, a JUCO player. 66 overall. That's pretty low. I remember last year, a lot of the JUCO guys I was going after were like higher day 1 overall guys. It was a bit like using the transfer portal. So I kind of liked him for certain spots. He's wearing a youth medium jersey. The caps are pretty good, though, honestly. But he doesn't have a lot of time. He's going to get 1 off season. On the old games, the portal was ranked by overall. I guess that's no longer. Yeah, if they change the way players are ranked and it's not by overall... I'd like to know more about what goes into that because I don't want to end up in the same situation next year. Yeah, we're definitely going to redshirt him, so we will get 2 off seasons. And then Kevin Cage, normal dev. 287 pounds. Those are really good caps. I wish I could get at least impact dev with that. Those are awesome caps. And let's do Jaquan Bryant. So he's more of the run-stopping focus linebacker that I got. And his caps are not great. I suppose that if he gets skill points, then something has to get better, right? Can it be his coverage? Because it's so low? Power's already fine. Run stopping, you know, he'll cap out pretty quickly. You want to see Banks, the junior, who transferred? Bryson Banks. I mean, he has 1 pip of cap available. Wow. Tyreek Jameson. Star Dev. Might be a day 1 freshman starter 3-star. That does not happen often in my dynasties. I'm excited for this. And the caps are good. Those are good caps. Very good. Yeah. A 68 overall is about to be a day 1 starter for our defense. And now at cornerback, I have 2 more. We'll go Sammy McNamara first. Sammy, first of all, impact dev. I think at least starting caliber caps. I think that's fair. And then Marquez Dyson. He was a gem, so I have expectations here. He made the thumbnail. Impact dev. And, okay, man coverage is capped. Zone has some upside. Again, I think these are starting caliber caps. That can work. Anybody else? Yeah, BJ Workman. Gem, 3-star, strong safety, impact dev. Workman. Really good, I would say. Run support's uncapped, quickness uncapped, zone coverage is a high ceiling. If man coverage has limits, that's okay. He doesn't have to be the hybrid guy. Those are good. All in all, I'd say we got pretty good caps on our players this year. But some positions did not get like a great prospect. You know, wide receiver was basically untouched. Definitely have to add a receiver now this next year. 3 of these guys are seniors. 1's a junior. I'll have to do more for offensive line. I only brought in 1 offensive lineman in that first class. I just looked at how young the offensive line talent already was and decided I could kind of go elsewhere in year 1. And even now, there's 1 senior there, 2... I think we have 3... I guess maybe 4 senior starters. If I do play Vass and then Grayson goes to center. But there's a lot of freshmen too. Like there's still numbers there. And then I was curious. Oh yeah. Guys like Kevin Brown had good caps. We looked at Kevin Brown earlier. At least he had pass blocking upside. He's already 75. So we're going to get there. Edge needs a big boost. So, yeah, that looks to be our team going into this next year. It's going to be interesting to see how the defense fares. Will this defense be better than it was a season ago? I think cornerback and defensive tackle being massively upgraded will be felt. And we didn't get much from our edge rushers last year anyway. Linebacker is going to take a hit to overall, but there is actual cover talent now. That has to count for something. At the very least, Tyreek Jameson's going to be a better cover player than any linebacker we had last year. So we got Woods has 78. Bryson Banks has 75. Ty Pittman, young linebacker, 70 overall, 83 zone. Is it Ty Pittman and Tyreek Jameson? Every portal player now gets a hidden score. It works like this. Player score equals overall right now plus 6 points for every season of eligibility he has, plus a small bump for good dev. Okay. So I think you definitely have to pay attention then more so to the age of recruits when you're in the portal. Yeah, the way it's ranked there changes a lot. So in my instance, I would have been best off like going after the best juniors I could, and at certain positions, that was kind of my mindset. Gas is a redshirt sophomore. And then Green's the one I think fleeced me more because he is lower rated and a year older. Or a class older, at least. A 2-star junior will be higher than a 4-star sophomore. If that's like the TLDR, I think that tells you exactly how to play it. That makes some sense. But that's my first time using the portal in this game. So I think we all learned a lot. In Team Builder, I created an entirely custom NFL league. I even have some lore fleshed out. Any chance you want to check them out? Maybe start a custom NFL commentator series. I'm not looking to add any new series right now. That sounds awesome. That you created a whole league. That sounds very cool. No, I'm still wondering when it comes to like Madden dropping here shortly, like what exactly it is I'm doing right away. Like I want to start something. Now I've been doing rebuild franchises on my second channel for years now, where I am not playing but I'm managing the team, and it's kind of like a hybrid series. So I've wanted to do a main channel franchise because I haven't done one in a couple years, and now I have an entirely new format. Could I do a Dynasty and franchise at the same time here? I guess I'm willing to put it to the test. If I check out the game and it's, you know, things seem good enough to get going, I guess that'd be the desire. And maybe I start a rebuild franchise later on or something on the second channel. But I think like if I do a Dynasty and a franchise, and I'm still doing MLB on the second channel, that's kind of at max until the Twins franchise is over. At which point then, we can see what I want to do football content-wise on the second channel. Now, I will say, for those of you Steelers franchise fans, there's some of you in here somewhere. I've been putting together a video this week. So, there is a Steelers franchise video coming. I do not know if it's going to be the last video because I think I'm over long-term sims. I think what you see in this next video is my new kind of end-of-season format. So, I've recorded a bunch this week in Steelers franchise. I have a good deal of it already edited. So I think like this video is probably coming this weekend. I'm almost done recording it fully, and most of it's already edited. So I think probably Saturday or something is probably a good day. There is more Steelers coming. I'll say this next video has some really good stuff in it. I think there is a good deal of payoff. And just the type of video this is, the format for it. So I knew I was going to do something that's more like you watch any rebuild on YouTube. It's like a bunch of seasons in one video, and it's like an all-in-one experience. Well, I haven't done a lot of that. This does have multiple seasons, but I always have to go a little bit further in with detail. I can't just start a season and hit sim to playoffs. And I haven't done that. So I came up with something I thought worked for me. And I like it a lot. So that video is going to come out this weekend. What about Saints franchise? Maybe one day it comes back. No plans with it, but I loved playing the last season of it. I think my slow sim stuff, Lucas, has a chance to be sped up a bit. And I think like the video I'm putting together now is kind of like an example of what it looks like sped up and how you can still have a lot of cool things come together and some storylines with payoff. The only thing I'll say, because I'm not going to spoil the video, it's like, y'all know how good Freddie Lashley was, right? And how he's like the best up-and-coming quarterback in the franchise over there. When his fifth-year option comes up, just think about what that means. Like the salary build of everything. It's very interesting. Wrong question. What about the Madden 18 Bears? Here's where I am on these older series. To me now, I don't want to do long-term sims, and I'd rather leave things open-ended, because in the case of like the Bears or the Saints or my Rockies, it's like if there's ever a window where maybe I'm between series or I'm waiting for something to come out and it's like I got a little bit of time, I could bring something back. And I'm kind of interested in that idea. Bringing something back for an additional year. Because now that I'm doing live commentary stuff on the main channel, it's like, okay, I can get through a season so much faster now. And then I've been doing like the Snowhawks videos. I know what it's like putting together stuff like that. It's like, now there are some more options. Oh man, Planet Dearth. I forgot all about Dearth and the Bears series. So yeah, there's more stuff I want to do, but when the games are brand new, that's when I want to start big new series. So more of this other project stuff, that's more so for months down the road when these series have ended. And my hope is that now I have a process and like the series are able to go by a little bit quicker. I couldn't do that with Arkansas State. And so I missed out on like an entire season of doing weird stuff. And I hope next year I can do it. We'll see. I would like to break out some old games and do some like content where you don't know what I'm posting next, basically. What game, what it is I'm working on. But right now, I just want to like start new series, grind, and let's see where it all goes. I'm already a year into West Virginia. I did 9 in Arkansas State. Now we're into year 2. Yeah, Snowhawks was kind of my chance to go off the board and just kind of do something new and fun. And so, like, doing that earlier this year, helping prolong Arkansas State's, like, because my upload schedule got really crazy then. That's part of why I couldn't just end Arkansas State and then start doing something else. It just didn't happen. So, your random dead month videos are always tons of fun. Love the NFL Street streams too. Yeah, and I owe you guys an NFL Street 2 series. Like, it's been multiple years since I played NFL Street 1. Ugh. Come here. Come here. Hi. Guess who's awake from his nap? He's been sleeping for like the last 7 hours in the same spot. This is Neo. Ugh, he does not want to be up here. Usually he does, though. How come it's okay for him to walk across my monitors and stuff when I'm recording? But now I want him up here and he doesn't want to be up here. When it's my idea, it's not fun. Come back up. Come back up. You probably won't do it now. I'm giving you permission to jump on my desk. Yeah, NFL Street, like NFL head coach. And like when we went through it a few weeks ago with the whole microtransactions in these games, and it brings back the ideas of like, man, what do these games look like in the future? Like, who knows when this deal goes final and EA's actually acquired to go private in full, like what the future holds for this game, Madden, whatever. It's like, it makes it even more, you know, it points out how it'd be nice to have a good flow going with other games and to have more options and to not feel like you have to do one thing or another. There have been games I've kind of skipped out on. Remember when the Fix Madden franchise was going on? I played Madden 09 on the second channel. Remember Madden 20? I did Broncos for 2 years on the main channel. I'm sure we haven't seen the end of like companies trying to do microtransactions in these modes or whatever, but I sure would like to do more stuff. And I think one thing that becomes even more interesting to me now is like 2K. And I know, like, you know, the way they do My Player, and they have their own microtransaction stuff going on and everything, but it's like, I don't think they've tried to do it in the My League or My GM, whatever it is, but the year I spent time on the surf, man, I enjoyed it. I'd love to take a crack at 2K again. I was watching a lot of NBA playoffs. I was watching a decent bit of the World Cup, but it's like, man, there's other games out there. There's other stuff. So I guess if I do a main channel franchise and Dynasty, and then Twins franchise ends sometime in the next few months, whatever, it's like, I don't know what I do next. Do I just do weird stuff for a while? Do I eventually do a rebuild franchise on the second channel? Do I just play other games? I think I'll have options. But I mean, like, doing Steelers this week kind of reinforced that, like, I still really enjoy doing my rebuild franchises. And I've done one every year since 2018. Yeah, I love going back to the older games sometimes. I haven't really found one that fits me perfectly for like a full-on franchise. That has been harder. Like, The few times I've fired up like Madden 05 or 06 and I've gone in the franchise, like I've gone and just played some games for fun, and it's like, man, the CPU stinks. Darren Domingo as a starting pitcher to count for the future of the Twins franchise. We'll see. I think he has really high control, and it could work out there. Would ever consider live streaming series on the main channel and making it into videos on the second? I have done that before, and I had more plans to do streaming this year. It just hasn't really worked out that way. I feel like with a series I'm doing, I'm kind of at capacity when I'm doing 3. So it's just kind of seeing like if things change this year on the second channel. He does that. So yeah, I know I haven't done like recruiting or anything yet. I want to take my time and look at that and set up my board well for next year. We can take a little look. I don't mind doing that. But I'm probably going to end the stream here soon. The off seasons here might change a bit with how much they've added into the early portion. I felt like I had to spend a lot of time on it. But I like to see who's showing day one interest in West Virginia. There isn't a 5-star. I wanted to see the pipelines here. Because you got 2 3-stars. Only one we could go for is the number 2 ranked player. Probably not going to work. 4 stars. Interest? None. Anybody from West Virginia? There are a few West Virginia 4 stars. I will always go for the best players in West Virginia in this series. That's pretty cool. You're from Morgantown? Just walk in. Just come on down. I don't think there were any 5s. Maybe a practice stream? We'll see. I was also wondering, I wanted to run an idea by you guys. Like, do I need to do edited off-season videos anymore, or do I just recap the off-season in week 1 and make that the first episode of the season? Because the way I've always done it is stream, make a video recapping the stream, and usually there's so much going on it's worth its own video. But I'm trying to kind of make things a little bit more efficient. And so the last year with Arkansas State, I recapped the offseason, brought us right into week 1. I say recap instead of separate episode. Recap plus 1 game. Yeah. I've accepted that my videos now are just, it's normal to do long, and like 1 game episodes feel weird. They do. And then I'll do a better job of throwing chapters on here, especially because the way I do my off seasons, man, I take so long for certain things. Very interesting here that there are 2 4-stars from West Virginia and 2 3s. I'm guessing it's not very likely that you'll get multiple 4-stars from West Virginia. For those of you that have done a Dynasty so far with like a traditional like 1-0-star like small school, like what's the experience been like? Is it a lot more brutal? Like, I didn't even know they were going to make things so much more challenging. I just wanted a Power 4 team this year. It kind of worked out that way. Not with mods, it's not. Oh, come on now. You lose 20 transfers each of the first, like, 3 years. I'm doing UMass, and it's hard to get 2-star high schoolers? That's crazy. Like, what's your NIL if you're UMass? Because now I understand the numbers a little bit. Like, what's your NIL if you start a UMass Dynasty? You have to go after 0 NIL players a lot. That's so interesting now. If you had done the traditional 1-star, what team would you have picked? After doing Buffalo and Arkansas State, I might have gone West. What's like a small school out west that would have worked for me? Because the ones that come to mind are so like mid-tier. Like Fresno State. I guess Sac State as like a fresh school. San Jose State would be a good one. You got the blue and yellow going on, like the Charger alternates a little bit. San Diego State. Kent State and UMass start with 410. And that's like for the whole program, right? That's support staff, coordinators, facilities. What's your player NIL spend on a Kent State UMass dynasty? Man, I'm playing a different game from y'all. We are not playing the same game. I burned like 320, and I'm not going to have any consequences, really. And I'm a mid-tier team, and I just lit that much NIL on fire. I lit your budget on fire on edge rushers that won't start. That's crazy. I send a nice 5 to 10 NIL just to get 2 stars interested. Don't go crazy now. That is so funny. I'm doing Texas State. It's really tough. Yeah, and you got 20 big schools in your backyard looking at the best players, too. Probably all the 3 stars gobbled up. NDSU would be fun. Yeah, that would be a very cool one to do. It kind of goes back and forth. I picked a Power 4 team this year, so maybe next season, next year, in the future, my next series, whatever, it's entirely different. Maybe it is a small school like that. Especially because I like to see how NDSU performs this year. I know they're in like the Mountain West, right? So it's like they're used to dominating and being a playoff team, and now jumping up to the FBS is probably going to be a little bit different. I don't have a lot of NIL remaining, guys. I'm not going to be able to offer a ton of expensive scholarships until next offseason if I can get some NIL off of our books. Our roster NIL is at 67%. But Prince Strawn is a senior. Amari Grayson's a senior. I'm going to wipe out Justin Green's. So that's like 500-600 back already. I'll be in a better spot next year, probably. Slow sim on CFB. I'm not really interested. I enjoy playing mostly with CFB. I would even say that a single season format, now it's not going to start now. Not going to say it is going to happen, but a single season format or something more sped up, like how I did my Snowhawks or the little bit of Kalispell last year, could be something that ends up on the second channel at one point. If I want to start something later that's a little bit different And that makes sense. Like, if it's something I get around to, December or something, at that point, the season's almost over. Doing a type of series where I'm not playing every game, but it's more like one season of video or something. Who knows? I have not really played coach mode yet, just because I knew I wouldn't be doing a series with it right now. Still want to check that out. Road to Glory, I wanted to do with Hank Holder this year, but when I saw how grindy it was, I was out. Because I made Hank Holder, he ended up being a 4-star, and like, it didn't seem like the experience I wanted for that type of Road to Glory. The way they set it up, and obviously they had microtransactions in place, they made it grindier. I think Bordeaux posted that like a 5-star peer runner quarterback in last year's game would start as an 80, and this year they start as like a 72, 73. So it's a lot grindier, and I was not looking for a grindy Road to Glory. Now, later on, if I have the appetite for it, maybe I'll do something. But that was not how Hank Holder Road to Glory was meant to go. He was supposed to be basically a generational prospect. Who we playing this year? I haven't built the schedule yet, and I'm going to get off stream here shortly. They got Arkansas State on there. Is that locked? No. I know for sure we're going to play Pitt, and we're going to play Marshall again. Pitt, I think, would be a really good second opponent. I don't know if that needs to be home or road yet. The Backyard Brawl. Season opener? I'm kind of down to go at Marshall after losing last year. I could always put Arkansas State back, but I wanted to make sure I had these two on there. And then, do they play 9 conference? I always end up playing my last Dynasty team at one point. But if I'm playing 9 conference games, I want a lot of rivalry games otherwise. And we did not play Virginia Tech in year 1. So I think we play 3 rivals. And then I will look at the, like, last time they played, and I'll alternate West Virginia versus Pitt football history. So last time they played was 2025. West Virginia won at Pitt. Or where was it? This isn't really telling me if it was. All right, I need a different... The last meeting was in Morgantown. So I need to go at Pitt for this one. And the last time they played Virginia Tech, so we're not going to play a home game for a while, but it's kind of like last year we started off almost all home games. This year is going to be the opposite. The last meeting between these two teams was in 2022. That was in Blacksburg, so we get the home game. So we'll go road, 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 home, road, home. That would only be 5 home games. But we're supposed to go at Pitt, at Marshall, if that's the way we're going to do it. Yeah, the road games affect visits because it affects when you can schedule players. A lot of different Big 12 opponents this year. I mean, if I only play 5 home games, it is what it is. Because then the next time we would get probably an extra home game. Now, this might not be our schedule every single year. Because we have 9 conference. I don't think we're locked into just playing Marshall, Pitt, Virginia Tech every year. It might become an every other. It also might depend on just like if one of these rivalries ends up being the more standout one. I could even decide that we play Virginia Tech in year 3 and introduce it then. So I knew I for sure wanted to play Pitt. If you win, can we get a live feed of you burning your couch? Probably not. Quite fond of my couch being in an unburned state. We could take off Marshall and just come back to them in year 3 and play a different game in week 1 at home to go 6 home games. Apparently, Arkansas State's busy this week. You should play Marshall. I mean, we did lose to them last year. It would be a good story to open the year after they beat us last season. I want to see something here. Could I open up this week and play Marshall week 0? I feel like it's been a while since I've been able to just play all my non-conference games and then all my conference games in a row. I kind of like that. I guess you'd get back-to-back buys here, and that's kind of awkward too. I guess that's just the way it goes. I'm putting Marshall back. Because back-to-back buys is weird. I guess this could be like, you know, the rivalry year, and then after this, we will not play them all in the same year like that. We'll switch it up a little bit more often. It's possible Pitt is the one we do play every year, and the rest are kind of rotating. All right, guys. I am pretty happy with how this went. My first off season, and I think we emerged with a team that can do some things better than season one's and still has the strong offense, but still kind of some intriguing things to think about for next year. How good is the running game without Cam Cook? Because this is not the same. How good is this defense with the upgrades at defensive tackle and at cornerback? And then, what about young guys getting to play early? Tyreek Jameson at linebacker. Maybe Gordon McElmurray gets some play at running back then. And yeah, I think it's an interesting team going into the year. I'd say it's a more balanced team than last year. But that is going to do it for me. That was a fun offseason. What do you say we do it again? After hopefully 13 more games. That sounds pretty good to me. If you wouldn't mind leaving a like, I would appreciate that. Thank you all for spending some time with me this afternoon. That was a big stream, 4 hours. Wow. All right, I'm hungry. Y'all take care and have a good night. I'll see you next time.